They were interested in finding out ways of kind of giving people opportunities to interpret the collections in new ways. Inner Peace Records is a hip-hop collective, so we're basically a bunch of mates who all love making music, making hip-hop.
Born and raised in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, we're a musician.
From the first person, Africans, before we were transported to the Caribbean, we took the rhythms and the drumming.
I'd like to think that there are things that we can do that will redress the errors of our past and even errors that we're making in current times as well.
After we've had a look at some of the objects from the Benin collection,
about 6 hours worth of audio, listening to all the different takes we've got, all the different mics, and I'm picking samples.
You have some agency, but really I can't answer for all of it because it's not me. There's something else like working through me.
It's the first kind of project that we do where it actually has a cultural impact.
challenging both of those kind of stereotypes, if you like, that people have about hip-hop musicians and that people have about museums.
For me, it's about this current paradigm collapsing.
My name is Rawz. I'm an MC and poet from Oxford. Most people know my city as the city of dream inspires and the home of prestigious universities, but the Oxford I know is very different. I grew up in the Lees estate, which is among the 10% most deprived in the UK, according to the government's Index of Multiple Deprivation. There's a long-standing disparity between the university and the working class communities of Oxford, known locally as the town and gown divide. Growing up here, I've had to deal with many of the issues people experience growing up on council estates up and down the country, including temptations of crime and repercussions of financial insecurity. As a teenager, I discovered hip-hop and lyric writing as a tool to overcome some of the difficulties I was facing and share my stories with others. This is the Pitt Rivers Museum in central Oxford. I approached them with an idea to use some of their musical instrument collections to reinterpret the function of museums and bridge the gap between town and gown through hip-hop. For this project, I've recruited the help of some like-minded creatives.
My name's Easy, and I am a musician.
Yeah, I'm Tang the Pilgrim. I'm a rapper and a beat maker.
Hello, my name is T. I'm a singer and producer.
I'm Tiger.
My name's Kingsley. I'm a producer. I've been working with Inner Peace Records for many years.
Inner Peace Records is a hip-hop collective, so we're basically a bunch of mates who all love making music, making hip-hop.
So Inner Peace Records started as an idea by some close friends of mine, Rawz, Saf, and another guy called Luca.
And we needed a place to put this album. We didn't want to just let it go to dust. So we decided to just make our own label.
There's sort of a very mutual idea about what kind of music we could make if we sort of pooled our resources and creativity.
And we're all so different, and I think that's sort of what inspired the need for it to exist, was that we need these different influences coming together, and we need to be influencing each other and supporting each other and lifting each other up.
The fact that we all respected each other as people and also respected the music that each other made, it kind of was a bit of a natural progression for us to actually sit down and say, well, what are we trying to achieve here? And I think the combination of those views and those goals have come together to create Inner Peace Records.
With an ethos that people could relate to, a positive message, and which also had a reflection on the content of the music.
Meeting all of the Inner Peace guys and us sort of forming a plan together and moving forward was like, I needed that. I needed a group of people who could see what I wasn't able to see in myself and who would uplift me, and I could uplift them in turn, because because it's always easier to upsell your friend and be like, oh, she's in music, than it is for yourself. And within this group, it was sort of like, you can remove your ego from that. It's just about what you make and what you do, and we want it.
From the focus and the flow to the ruckus in his eyes.
Where's the drums at? What's the drums?
Frankenstein style, you can tell the man's alive. From the focus on the flow to the ruckus in his eyes.
It's the moment for me, funds gave the gift I chosen. Drawing on the sun is yawning, still the lines are open. Not the life I was hoping, but it is the life I wanted. And these are times I'm honest, I keep the lies alive. Immortalized, realize, see there's more to life.
My name is Miles. I'm born and raised in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe. You're a musician, dancer, creative.
So, my name is Sean. I'm a musician by profession from Nairobi, Kenya. And now I live in London. I've worked mainly as a performer, but also as a arranger, composer, band leader, producer, and a teacher.
My name is Bonnie Wanda. I'm a musician, I'm a bass player. I also write songs and do a bit of recording.
I am Kofi Edu, and I'm a percussionist drummer.
My name is Thabo Mlea. I work with the Pitt Rivers on a project called the Mutaka Project.
My background in music began when I was a little bit kind of like teenage years, sort of like music, meaning like Mbira music, really developed when I was about maybe 15, 16 years old, because I was dancing to the very same music. But then I thought, well, at some point I will have to play this instrument.
It was mainly classical training with a bit of like even I don't know how you class hymn singing and that kind of stuff. And that progressed into jazz and a very Western kind of approach. And then I discovered African music. So once that happened, it was all by ear. And we were working with a lot of these musicians from that time.
A mixture of so many things, so many layers, because I have played different types of music, different types in my music career.
I play the conga drums, I play djembe, I play all assorted percussions like shakers, bells,
jazz, soul, pop, reggae, and of course African music, which is now what I do.
Here we are. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Pitt Rivers Museum. I guess you all know my name, I'm Rawz. And yeah, this project was came from an idea I had back in January, sort of through talking to one of Beth's colleagues at the museum, and basically discovering that they have this collection of African instruments that is kind of locked away and not being used, and they were interested in finding out ways of kind of giving people opportunities to interpret the collections in new ways and look at the museum. So today's day one, so it's really about the group kind of bonding and gelling with each other, everyone meeting with each other, and really sharing kind of a little bit about our personal stories and our personal journeys, but also our instruments and the music that we make. And just generally kind of familiarising everyone with each other and getting to know about each other's musical processes and start to think about how we can kind of blend them together and work together from our different disciplines. One of her kind of biggest passions was making me proud of my African heritage and my Caribbean heritage, and always kind of bought me books and gave me all sorts of information about the history of African people around the world. So it's something I've always been aware of, thanks to my mum. I was growing up, some tough times going on at home and struggling at school, and my mum struggling financially and all of that kind of stuff. Writing lyrics was a real kind of therapy for me. So I used to find it really helpful to just sit and write about how I was feeling and the things that are going on in my head.
Tang the Pilgrim is my artist name. I'm also Bonnie's son. As Bonnie, half of my heritage is African, and so sampling the music of my forefathers and my father's going to be one of the artists. So there's also that aspect which carries quite a heavy meaning to me.
Make it like sample based, so I'm really looking forward to like taking what you guys play and reworking it and making it into some hip hop and seeing what we can do with it.
It's not about benefiting it in a Piece Records. It's the first kind of project that we do where it actually has a cultural impact without even trying it, you know?
For me to have that was just like a big wake-up call. I had to open my eyes and be like, let me look at this ancestral stuff. Let me find out more about my history, my family.
An opportunity to just teach myself all of the sort of like rhythms and traditional songs. Some of them are my own composure. So it developed as a sort of like spiritual process for me rather than like a choice. I didn't have to go to a specific institution or a teacher, for example. It was just like a memory, genetic memory, and I was reminding myself of what I used to play, maybe in my old life.
An instrument which I really loved is mbira. So, all over Africa we have this instrument, we call it likembe. Same in Congo, they call it sanzla. And it's the same concept of having the metal, basically what they call the thumb piano in the Western world. And for me as a guitarist, the kind of music we play, we're imitating that instrument.
I'm interested in seeing how the younger people are developing their music today and how they are hoping to incorporate music that we have been playing.
Instruments I'm particularly drawn to. Don't practice it enough as much as I'd like to. I think that rhythm is so important. It's one of those, is visceral the right word? But one of those like integral kind of expressions, which drums was probably one of the first instruments.
It's just a meeting of beautiful minds, beautiful people, and having different sounds.
Wanted to kind of get everyone kind of a little bit of knowledge about the art form that we use as Inner Peace Records, and just kind of a little bit of what came before us, sort of thing. I think there's I guess from both the museum side and the musical side, the hip hop side, there's a lot of perceptions and kind of prejudices that people have about both of those things, you know, from various parts of society. So yeah, I think, you know, this project is going to be really good in kind of challenging both of those kind of stereotypes, if you like, that people have about hip hop musicians and that people have about museums. It became known as the five pillars of hip hop. So DJing, b-boying, which is dancing, breakdancing, MCing and graffiti and knowledge. They're kind of the 5 pillars of hip hop.
Sides to it. I'm someone who loves to create music. I love to create instrumentals specifically. I like to use my MPC to sample, to build up hip hop beats. But I also like to create songs, and that involves working with musicians to record them, you know, to help be part of the direction of a song, and to mix the song, to master the song. So the way I fit in is I'm here to help facilitate the rappers and singers to do what they do.
And then we've got some lyrics like, yo, we can be anything we want. Peace is the path we belong. Gotta stay strong for our hearts, but the wheels something that will last.
Hip hop's been a massive influence in my life. So as I said earlier, you know, growing up, it was a real therapy for me, not just writing, but also listening to the music.
This guy said to me he thought hip hop was the Neolithic culture of the planet. And what I think he meant was hip hop is the native culture of human beings before culture. So if you look back to what people were doing and the way that art was created, the way that ritual was enshrined in our daily lives and so on. The things that were going back in early societies, and even in today's, you know, if you look at indigenous people and people who still live in a very ancient way, these things are also taking place in hip hop culture.
Founded in 1884 by Augustus Henry Lane Fox Pitt Rivers, an English army officer who started the collection to further his research into weaponry from around the world. Now home to over 500,000 objects, photographs and manuscripts, the Pitt Rivers Museum is examining its collections with a view to redefining its purpose. This process is known as decolonisation. The ice was broken and the musicians had got to know each other. We were now ready to have an improvised jam together in the museum space and breathe some creative energy back into the collection. This was our first attempt at merging our kindred art forms.
I've always gravitated towards the old school way of doing things. And sometimes, you know, you look at young guys with technology and it almost feels like a shortcut. But when you actually see them working, you see the creativity behind it and, you know, the effort they put. And so I have a lot of respect for that.
So we've got the clap in there, that'll be our marker.
Sampling sound, like these are instruments that maybe someone's never even heard, or they've seen a picture but they have no idea what it might sound like, and now we can like take a piece of that and remix it or roast it or like hold it in this whole new space. And
African music extends to, it keeps on going, you know.
It was like a birthday party to me, yeah. Staff were dancing and we were enjoying ourselves, you know. It was just a great big party.
Just playing the mirror without having a drummer, for example. These instruments always are complemented by mini and other bigger instruments to make a nice, you know, sound.
So firstly, it's about making some music in the museum space and using the collections and bringing them, bringing life back to those objects that were created in such a in such a thoughtful and skilled and creative environment, but that are now kind of sat in glass cases for people to look at.
Hip-hop is, you can call it hip-hop. Hip-hop's just a placeholder, it's just a name. But I think actually it's something important and very kind of vital to who we are, especially in what are very confusing and pivotal times.
The pull of a mindset that's pitiful. The path of progress is uphill and spilling. Seek your will and resolve the will to evolve. The bigger the task, the bigger the toll. The less I stick to the path, the fixed on the goal. Guided by faith.
Bridging the gap, I guess, between the traditional and the current day.
My hands grip the dirt until my muscles hurt out of my nails.
After the excitement and new experiences of day one, the group was really starting to bond, and we were ready to start thinking about how we wanted to collect samples from the African musicians and their instruments. We'd shared a lot of knowledge about our personal journeys and musical styles and influences, and we're all looking forward to the next step in the process.
Yesterday was really amazing, especially, so the whole experience was great. Really awesome to hear people's stories and how they come around music and how it came into their lives and what they decided to do with it. And then having this opportunity to kind of culture share. And then in the end of it all, we have like music, which is the uniting thing like everywhere. So that was really amazing.
Everything was starting to come together organically, and the exchange of ideas flowed naturally between the musicians. The clock was ticking on our limited time with the African musicians, so the Inner Peace team got to work collecting samples.
It's an instrument that defines us as a people. This is our history. Before, it's a history, now and the history to come. So for us to embrace that instrument is also to know thyself.
I would say what you call the talking drum, which is the squeeze drum. It's quite it's got a lot of tones and accessibilities. So that one quite intrigues me. But there's millions of drums around. I've seen in this museum, which I can't put a finger on this one. But I love playing the dundu, as we call it here.
After a long day of collecting samples, the museum was now closed to the public, and we were able to get a more intimate look at some of the artifacts and gain some perspective while exploring the collections with the musicians who we've been privileged to work with.
Okay, so my name is Beth McDougall and I'm the Families and Communities Officer at the Pitt Rivers Museum. Some of the problematic histories, but some of what we're trying to do around like redressing and reconciliation. And obviously you guys doing all of this work here today, bringing sounds back into this museum is so much part of that, thinking about how we redress some of the problematic issues within the museum. So thinking about decolonising the Pitt Rivers Museum is just a huge task. There's over 50,000 objects on display in the museum, and there's many, many more hidden away and in reserve collections. And when you start to think about how many communities those things have belonged to, who's involved, who needs to be involved in the conversations about thinking through what you do when you actively decolonise, is such a mammoth task. And this is collected from Ghana. And so I just wanted to know if anyone recognised any of the drums that you can see in the cases. Anyone can tell us. And it's not a moment to be shy.
Well, they call this atompai. They are Ashanti traditional folk drums. And they're played with that's it. They were used before the colonial times when the British were invading. We used them to send messages. They're coming, left, jump this tree. So this so I know them. I think it would be difficult for the old British to address that. Yeah. So at that period, I mean, for them it was either a commercial or a life-saving ideology.
You would learn to know the tonation, you know.
Yeah, the tonation. Yeah, which is like a language. Yeah,
which is, people hear what that is, and they know what you do.
Go and hide. Yeah.
Yeah. And can anyone play it, or was it passed between generations, or anyone would play it?
It's very popular, like in Nigeria. They call it juju music in Nigeria, which means that the main singer.
You see that in what?
Just when they have
magic music.
Call like devil worshiping in this year. The British call here, Nigerians call like juju. It's scary, man. Well, juju is like a modern English term which is like devil worshiping.
Juju is more like voodoo.
Voodoo,
dark connotation, but I don't think that's the original kind of like name for the talking drum. It's not juju music.
It's like thought of as juju, or it was named as juju by the British, so that to restrict everyone not being able to use it, right? To say, oh no, you can't do that because it's seen as a practice that shouldn't happen, because we want to bring in a different type of idea. And so the local communities then started to see it as a problem and bad, and so move away from that.
And they also then started to call it juju as well.
Through the years, like they've kind of put a lot of money in charities like the Prince's Trust, the Duke of Edinburgh's Trust, and the royal family itself. But I don't think they've done very much to come out explicitly and say, well, look, we do acknowledge that we've gone here and there and done this and that was bad, but can we move on? I don't know if they will ever do it.
Did you an African word? Is it actually, was that created?
It's a colonial term. I don't think it is a suitable kind of like name for the instrument. It has to be an indigenous term.
Yeah, the naming is quite like a very integral part of this project because, like I said before, that if you then name it something else or equate an African indigenous instrument to a Western instrument so that people can have a better understanding, it then draws the true power of spirituality and sacredness around the instrument when it was built, because those people that built them are not just people that kind of like instrument builders. They have their spiritual processes. You might find that they come from a generation and a lineage of instrument makers.
Be that case, that's good.
For someone from another culture to come and say, well, this is kind of like lessening the power and the importance of the instrument, not just to us, the custodians of those cultures, but to also some people from other communities that are willing to learn more and know the truth about the instruments.
Somebody takes an instrument and doesn't know about it and puts it and they attach it to it, and the original person sees it. It's either insulting or hilarious, which you can take it. Some might feel hurt, but I find it quite funny.
If I said, as an African musician, say, oh, you play high life music, and so that we don't have any argument, I just say, yeah, but then, that meant you're putting me in a box.
Sometimes it seems like colonialism, a layer of colonialism goes, but another layer remains. And sometimes it can be insidious, it's there, and it's fermenting. Before you know it, it has destroyed things.
There is a lot to do, and it's like, how can we do this when everyone's so individual? But I am optimistic, and I'd like to think that there are things that we can do that will redress the errors of our past and even errors that we're making in current times as well.
Let's hope you media.
So you put it in the middle here. You see where that M is? Yeah. It's the I. When you've got the M, it means the guy is the firstborn in your family. Right. Let's see your hand. Yeah, the guy is the firstborn, no? Yeah.
I like that the museum is moving forward and taking positive steps to work with people like myself.
My literature, like
because we can't just do it all by ourselves. I can't decolonize the museum alone. I have to also work with other people.
So all of these ornaments here, they used to keep mostly the snuff, rather than just been putting in my nose and on my head.
So Britain is a thing that can address its colonial past. I think it's a process that is organically occurring. And to some people, you can look in some directions and maybe you can see some of that progress, and you look in other directions and you say, nothing's changed, nothing's happening. But I think it's a process that's much bigger than the British Empire or British people or white people, or it's bigger than that. It's about, for me, it's about this current paradigm collapsing.
We'd finished our thought-provoking tour of the On Display collection, and a stroke of luck meant that we were able to handle some of the world-famous Benin bronzes, while setup was taking place for our final jam session with the African musicians.
Not like my one. Yeah, no Opa one.
Yeah. You can talk
like,
a bit.
so
This is
like,
your man team there,
that's
these
like
are warriors, man, you know.
They put all of
it's so heavy. You have to be strong to wear this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
The belt. Can you make it sound?
So this is brass, yeah?
Brass,
Some sort of, some copper alloy.
To be
It's
honest,
a horn, so it's a side-blown trumpet. So we had an artist from Benin a couple weeks ago, and he was saying that when the oboe comes, those precede him. So those are only blown when the oboe is around.
when the oboe is there, yeah.
Other than that, they don't get blown.
Who's the oboe? The king.
The chief, the king, yeah. So
the oboe would be the high order. I'm the oboe, blow it.
It was really powerful to just share that and learn from those people who have a different take on the narrative that's presented on those objects in the cases. So they were able to tell us like the real name of some of the instruments and things.
Performing our music amongst objects taken from oppressed cultures around the world brought about a sense of liberation for everyone involved.
I think one of the benefits of working alongside other musicians is that, creative people work by this sort of osmosis of ideas. And I think even just watching the African musicians playing today, I feel like that is giving me a sort of energy where I want to take that and put those ideas and the things that I've learned from them into my own music. One big challenge we've had is actually recording in the museum space. Acoustically, it's a brilliant space. It sounds amazing, but it has its own challenges.
Building the real musicians, man.
I hope and I can foresee that it's going to be very influential, educational, and an eye-opener.
I think my role is to enable, and then it is up to them to use that.
Decolonization is not a painful process. It's joyful, it's important for growth and moving forward. And I think something like this is so applicable to music and the arts in general, because it's like you take something that's in front of you and you remix it.
Just connecting with people that are for, the movement to move our societies and the world forward.
I was thinking like the idea of like having a title for the track is going to help us a lot in terms of writing and just what type of sound of song we start making before we make it.
But also, I think like before we name the track, we need to make some beats. Like I think let's get the ideas, like continue with this 100%. But
make a few, see what
create a tapestry of
that's it.
thoughts and sentiments, and then.
Hours of an engaging, stimulating discussion between my fellow comrades and musicians, and we were reviewing some of the things that we'd learned over the past couple of days, which is quite extensive.
About how through Western colonization and religious doctrine, they basically, and stripping of power, have made Africans ashamed of their heritage, and that's really interesting to the point where they were saying that a lot of these traditions are dying out because people are considering it juju.
And devilish, yeah.
The people who write the labels, the people who gather the objects, you know, I'm talking about this in a kind of sense of how it has been. Like, they're all from a certain group that see the purpose of the organisation in a certain way. So the experience we had this morning, where we were kind of just sharing ideas and brainstorming together, really. It was great. It was really productive, really kind of, you know, I think it's a great way to start the sort of creative process, is just kind of share it, especially when you're doing it as a group, just kind of get everyone's ideas on the table, let everyone bounce off each other and kind of record as much of that as possible.
Whatever, like, I'm ignorant in order to actually learn something. You can't learn something if you already know it. Do you know what I mean?
And it's that safety around like protecting the conversation and being like, this is how we want you to view this stuff. In a sense, that's a big part of it, stopping progression.
And I was confused because I thought, I'm not educated, and I thought juju was an African thing. I hear it in rap music talking about the juju man and all sorts. I don't really know about it. But then I'm hearing that was a British thing, and I wonder if the British brought it over and actually invented it, like, it come out of a religious thing that the British pushed on the Africans. So like, yeah, there's so much we don't know.
No, you're right. And also maybe that's me, because I grew up in my African context, understanding juju to be juju, but also with my own lens, it's like, but witchcraft isn't inherently bad, magic isn't inherently bad, juju isn't.
It opened up such a deep well of feeling and sentiment that I didn't expect.
Links up with the power of the objects having power in themselves, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like without the words, yeah.
Well, something I was going to say, like...
Word.
Off the back of what you said, like, to me, one of the things that I like about seeing the objects in the space is that often, you see, like, some of the cabinets, you might see, like, 4 different examples of a fishing net, right? And they might be from different parts of the world. And to me, that's highlighting, like, a thing of, like, well, look, humans are actually really similar in loads of ways, right? And not to take away from individuality, but what if there weren't any labels, it doesn't matter whether that was from South America or this is from, from any part of the world.
Coffee, the drummer, he's just so good to get breaks from him. It's beautiful.
The producers are all set up in different rooms, so I'm really excited about just going around into the different rooms and checking how things are going.
About 6 hours worth of audio, listening to all the different takes we've got, all the different mics, and I'm picking samples. When I find something I like, it could be just a single bass note, could be a little guitar lick. Then I sample it here into my MPC. I'm ready to be chopped up.
Or maybe I tell you what, if we put some of that shaker over it, that'll blend it all together.
It's a music that I've never worked with before, but it's also a music that I've grown up listening to. When I was a kid, my dad's studio was in my front room, so hours on end of just him loops, and Coffee's drums often, and so they're sounds that I like, have always been present.
The Sukos style guitar, which Shan was playing on the first day, that was really cool. I've managed to do some stuff with that, extract some nice percussive, melodic playing from him, and being able to repurpose that, so that was really cool.
That's what I'm saying. I'm liking that sort of vibe, isn't it? One of them ones. Yeah. It's like a chant. Yeah. I'm feeling that. It's like a chant. Like a verse.
get creative and see what comes of it.
Polished glass help you see the misnamed gravestone in the place that was never home. Stolen souls just to flourish on the throne. Can't kill my courage. Open up the crates, have a rummage.
You pick the bits that resonate with you, and then you can focus on those, restructure or elaborate on it how you see fit.
The sweet ancient ancestors and this new birth of thought to breed misnomer fight thieves. Thieves to be biting, place importance on the pearly whites when minds need realignment. Proud she claimed the name back through the process of uprising. Dun dun. Good. Dun dun. Dun dun.
Wrong time, bound my people, glass cages, rest by the ground, present in sound.
Glass cages, capturing echoes from our ancestors. Time was running out, and the pressure was on for the Inner Peace Records team to deliver a final product.
One thing is that obviously the music that we make from a Western perspective uses certain scales. If you look at the Mbira, often it's using a slightly different scale or tuning from traditional Western instruments. So kind of fitting the two together is a challenge.
Just working on this beat, structure's pretty much there, but I feel like the main sample's a little bit, it's missing something.
I didn't think it would influence my lyric writing being in the museum, but it did. I think when we started with like the sounds and everything, that informed like a lot of how the feeling would be. And I guess when we had the like traditional musicians here, that sort of gave me a lot of ideas because coincidentally I grew up in Nairobi in East Africa, so a lot of like the sounds and the melodies and the licks that they use, I'm like, that's so familiar to me like as a youngin'.
Using words to express the impressions that something has left on us. Often for me it's the music or whatever it is that I'm working with. In this case it's the project, the experience, the museum, the music, the stories of the people who've taken part. And then I feel like from there it's just letting those metabolize.
We collaborated with musicians from other parts of the world, collected samples, made beats, written lyrics, and even handled some of the world-famous Benin bronzes. Now, it was time to shoot the music video.
Polished glass help you see the misnamed gravestone in the place that was never home. Stolen souls just to flourish on the throne. Can't kill my courage. Open up the crates, have a rummage.
I definitely want this to be the first of many. I think there's so many different ways we can do this, so many different angles that we can approach this same idea from. I think it'd be a shame if this was the last time that the first and last time that this happened.
They brought us the Bible, they brought us the Bible. By the time we woke up, we was no longer in silence. We walked with our ancestors, talking our tongues. They took our land, but they gave us their guns in case.
More important that we engage and interact with the world around us, no matter how old it is, than us standing back and just observing it behind glass and going, oh yeah, that's over there. So I really do hope that a lot of different institutions, organizations, buildings, museums open their doors and encourage people to engage with the artifacts because they're not dead, you know, they're still very much alive.
In for truths that can't be named. Enjoy the view beyond the glass cage.
digging up clues from a past age. Risking what I knew for what is hard to say and hard to hear. Listening for truths that can't be named.
What seeds have been planted in this process and what will sprout from them. People are going to leave here. Some people might never see each other again. Other people might continue to collaborate in different ways. And what will come of that? And and then how will that process repeat itself? I don't know. But it feels like something that is was meant to happen in the sense that it would have taken something a lot bigger than each of us individually for it to even have been able to take place.
Acquired domination over alterity, the subjugation of the people to make your land our territory. So as we give tours through the voiceless forms and relics that were yours, stolen from the source by our elders, I dedicate my thoughts to learn from your history and culture. Umuntu, Ngumuntu, Ngabantu, I thank you.
I think there's two parts to the legacy of this project. I mean, the first part is the message and the sort of story behind why we're here and why we're doing this. I know to some people, for example, Miles, one of the musicians, he's really interested in people respecting the name of individual objects and the relevance of those objects to the culture. So I feel like this project could be used to start conversations in a real sense.
Noma, the name stolen from her. Glass cages caught the culture to build the empire, but when she felt the absent power, she sent intention through the ages to revive this future. Brought it together sweet, ancient ancestors and this new birth of thought to breed. Misnomer fight thieves, thieves to be violent.
I hope that the lasting impact of the project is that, certainly for me, and I hope for my colleagues as well, that we feel that we can take more risks, that we can say actually other people know how to interpret this space like way better and differently to us, and actually just with a little bit of time and thought and energy you can make things happen.
Last cage, digging up clues from a past age. Risking what I knew for what is hard to say and hard to hear. Listening for truths that can't be named.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's been a beautiful day, and it's been a pleasure being amongst you. And God bless you and your work and your travels, and hope to see you again very soon. Thank you, guys.
You see the misnamed gravestone in a place that was never home. Stolen souls just to flourish on the throne. Can't kill my courage. Open up the crates, have a rummage. We're making gold from the rubbish, loads of it. Old knowledge, bold logic. Folding the script for the back pocket. Hold with a grip that won't slip from the topic. Everything I touch got my name on it. Making waves with my other mates. Open up the gates, it was all fate. Shake the cases with bass. Make spaces for new faces. Create, make haste with it. Relocate the village amongst the glass and stone prisons. Visions of a change from our old system. Don't do it as a victim, do it as a king. The future's wings swinging swiftly, it's all wins.
They brought us the bottle, they brought us the Bible. By the time we woke up, we was no longer entitled to walk with our ancestors, talking our tongues. They took our land and they gave us their guns. Encased in the phrasing, wrong time misplacing. The power of my people is trapped in glass cages. Warmed by the sun, blessed by the ground. Can't steal my birthright, it's present inside.
Enjoy the view beyond the glass cage. Digging for clues from a past stage. Risking what I knew for what is hard to say and hard to hear. Listening for truths that can't be named. Enjoy the view beyond the glass cage. Digging for clues from a past stage. it's hard to say and hard to hear. Listening for truths that can't be named.
In the tomb of the wrong name, glass graves fill the room from their conquest to the enclaves. That's history given a western face. Arms laden with their chests, not just breath stolen from the enslaved. Succumb to colonial desire, trickle down through the ages to become foundations. How we perceive imperial power. Eurocentric doctrine dominates our curriculums. Surreptitious agendas born from illicit acts of union. Your fathers scorned by the forefathers of the empire. So-called masters, cruel craftsmen impose savagery to acquire domination over alterity. The subjugation of the people to make your land our territory. So as we give tours through the voiceless forms and relics that were yours, stolen from the source by our elders, I dedicate my thoughts to learn from your history and culture. Umuntu, Ngumuntu, Ngabantu, I thank you.
Enjoy the view beyond the glass cage. Digging for clues from a past stage. Risking what I knew for what is hard to say and hard to hear. Listening for truths that can't be named. Enjoy the view beyond the glass cage. Digging for clues from a past stage. Risking what I knew for what is hard to say and hard to hear. Listening for truths that can't be named. The display, the dismay, to indicate the risk take. I spit the flame, my gift aid. The queen's speech, the king say. The words weave the interplay, the herd heed the symbol. Bursting from the cabinet, the birthright rekindled. Who owns the word why? Whose home is earth I? Who posed the question? Who holds the searchlight? I'll search wide and look far. Memory in the looking glass. Fear keeps separating I from the who we are. Chasm between the objective and where the context is. And where the objects are. To heal the ancestors. Observe the transgressions. To learn from man's lessons. The artifact. Wide awake to guide the way the tensions. Beyond the right and wrong ascend the dimensions. The spot where I write the song attend to thy presence.
The lady misnomer, the name stolen from her. Glass cages caught the culture to build the empire, but when she felt the absent power, she sent intention through the ages to revive this future. Brought it together sweet, ancient ancestors and this new birth of thought to breed. Misnomer fight thieves, thieves to be biting, place importance on the pearly whites when minds need realignment. Proud she claimed the name back through the process of uprising.
Enjoy the view beyond the glass cage. Digging for clues from a past stage. Risking what I knew for what is hard to say and hard to hear. Listening for truths that can't be named. Enjoy the view beyond the glass cage. Digging for clues from a past stage. Risking what I knew for what is hard to say and hard to hear. Listening for truths that can't be named.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's been a beautiful day, and it's been a pleasure being amongst you. And God bless you and your work and your travels, and hope to see you again very soon. Thank you, guys.
Tanga, my brother, how did you find the project?
Yeah, well, it's great to be a part of it. Yeah, privilege and really very grateful. Tired after the 4 days, but
mask. Take off your real mask. You know what I'm saying? Show me the real you. The project was roaring success, absolutely eye-opening and engaging, fantastic.
Somebody to spit on me. Spit on me.
Emotional, man.
I do make people nervous.
Yeah, she makes me uncomfortably nervous.
Man, it's been a success. It's been nice to get back into a space with people, to get making music again. Yes, Mum. No. No.
an idiot. I'm like, I'm 30. I can't get a final. It's not even.
It was wicked. It was really, really good. I like caught some mad vibes, and I can't wait to come back.
Is that a shot? No.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I've learned some great things and worked with great people. It's been really inspiring, and I'm really glad to have been part of it.
Wicked. It's very powerful to be in a museum, which no one else can really be in like this. It's proper wicked.
23 minutes. Good take. Easy, come in.
Really successful, and I love it. It's great.
It was such a good experience. It's been a long 4 days, but it's went by so quickly. I'm gonna miss everyone involved.
Rawz, the man of the hour, the guy behind the mask. What we saying, man? How was the project overall?
Yeah, it's been just what an amazing way to spend a weekend, 4 days. Like, it's been tiring, but I don't feel tired, I feel nourished. Like, it's given me energy, it's like enriched my spirit. Just, yeah, what an experience. We made history in the Pitt Rivers Museum.